What show did you stop watching after one episode? Iron Fist. I'm not even going to waste time describing everything wrong with that show or we'd be here all day. It's trash, don't watch it. Snowpiercer. I just couldn't suspend my disbelief. You're telling me humanity's best shot at surviving frozen dystopias by riding a train across the world? Without any significant rail or train problems for near a decade? Was just a bit too ridiculous for me. I think it was 1.5 but Narcos. After like the 4th sex scene I decided yeah fuck this. I'm trying to watch a show, not a porn. Riverdale. And it was half an episode. I was big Archie's comics fan when I was a kid and thought the show would be similar. The 100, typical teenage drama disguised as sci-fi. Nope. Plot looked interesting until I discovered the characters. Hi Lonnie, I'm home. The show was cancelled immediately after the first episode aired. The title tells you all you need to know, Glee. And I don't think it was the first episode, but I noped out of Shameless immediately when the dad hit his young son. That Halo show on Amazon. I love the campaigns, even the bad ones in that first episode sucked. The show was on Paramount, not Amazon. Arrested Development. Didn't find it too funny. Luckily, it was only a temporary stop. I continued and it's one of my favorites now. Didn't even make it through the first episode of Hatfields and McCoys. They were both worthless groups of people that deserved no reverence. The Rain. Everyone was stupid, especially the main characters, like none of their actions and choices made sense. I actually hoped it was like a bait and switch thing where all the characters we first meet all died to set up the real main characters, but no, we stick with the two idiots. Star Trek Discovery. I love Star Trek but it wasn't my cup of tea. Props to anyone who does enjoy it though. I wish it was for me. Mr. Robot. Everyone who knows me or likes similar stuff I do recommends it to me, but I found it so I'm 14 and nice to steep I guess? And my tolerance for edginess is really high. Game of Thrones. I just wanted to see what the hype was about like a year after I kept hearing about it, and I couldn't get through the first episode. Breaking 6 years ago. My buddy just kept pushing it so I watched an episode with him and didn't think I'd like it because I wasn't into drugs. Finally got talked into watching it. Finished it in a month. Damn, I was an idiot. Lol. The Connors. It was like watching a remake of Married with Children with no Al Bundy. That show is truly insufferable without Roseanne. Invincible because I found one of the characters incredibly annoying, and I'm also just tired of superhero shit. Hannibal. The disconnect between him being a serial killer and helping law enforcement was too much. Rick and Morty. Just not my kind of thing, and it didn't help that a big part of the fanbase are insufferable folks who belong on I'm very smart. Wednesday. The new Addams Family show starring Jenna Ortega. Why does everything supernatural have to be presented as a teen drama these days? Even the new Chucky show quickly turned into just another Riverdale. Black Clover MC voice annoyed me so I switched to the manga. Shield Hero The Kingdom the MC was summoned to save made me want to burn it to the ground. Any anime that count TA as plot points. I watched Arrow back, my in-law says it was good. So I pretended that it was good. Watched few more episodes. Then my in-law again introduced me to The Flash. Just on the intro of the episode I left the living room as fast as I can. Stranger Things. Winona Ryder was just too good as a mom of a missing kid, and that's a non-starter for me due to trauma as a teenager. The Walking Dead. Breaking Bad. Couldn't get through the first episode of either. Walking Dead was a matter of this is pointless and can go nowhere. I've tried 3 times to watch Breaking Bad with all the hype surrounding it. Hasn't gripped me yet. I heard How I Met Your Mother was good and also liked some cast members in it from previous films, TV shows. Got about 5 minutes and then had to stop because of the laugh track. It was so bad. 6 Feet Under. I figured I'd give it a try after Dexter because it had the same actor. In GL it was pretty fucking gay. Black Summer. The acting was terrible and the decisions of the people at the beginning in the series were making my blood boil watching it. Making dumb decisions. Doing dumb shit and just being dumb in general. Call me Cat. I think there was a spit taken S1E1 and the canned audience laughed uproariously. Perhaps there was more there, but such low-hanging fruit burnt that bridge for me. Ted Lasso. I am still convinced my friends tricked me into believing people like that show. It had no jokes, but was called a comedy. Probably most of the series I've started. If it doesn't grab me right away, I'm not sticking it out. Wheel of Time. Huge fan of those books. But even the gynocentric nature of that world wasn't enough for Amazon and they went and changed the way magic worked, which was one of the unique aspects of that world. The Netflix show about men on the ranch. Supposed to be a comedy with Ashton Kutcher, Sam Elliott I think, It was so bad. And even had a laugh track, and it wasn't the set in the 1950s. Sheesh. 2 episodes, but Breaking Bad. I've trauma and it was just too gory. I've heard it's an amazing show and I wanted to watch it, but I just couldn't do it. The Office, or the UK one to be more specific. I love the American one. Honestly, I just cannot watch British TV. Skull. Survivor. Thought it was a pretty good concept until I watched the first 15 minutes of the first episode of the first season. Turned it off and never watched another. Naked and Afraid is almost what Survivor should have been. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Naruto, Haley's on it, Transformers Robots in Disguise, Hamster, and Gretel, Stargate Universe, and Disney's latest attempt at the Spider-Man TV show. History of the World Part 2. Loved Mel Brooks movies growing up, but this was cringy and painfully unfunny. You? Spent enough time around narcissists that I didn't need to sit through that. Made it 5 minutes in. Moon Knight I really tried, but I just could not get into it. That's one of the only Marvel shows I didn't like. Which is a shame because he looked like an interesting hero. I think I lasted 2 or 3 episodes of How I Met Your Mother before deciding it was boring and unfunny. A little longer than 1, but I like to give things a chance. House of the Dragon. The violence and sex was so over the top, I felt like I was watching a GOT fanfic written by an edgy high schooler. Batwoman. It's like somebody's list of everything wrong with superhero movies and TV shows somehow became the show Bible. Harry and Meghan's show on Netflix. Could not stomach it. Think I got about 5 or 10 minutes in before I turned it off. Schitt's Creek. It insisted upon itself. I may try again, but it felt like I had seen this all before. Every single Netflix show that is dubbed. I have no doubt they're probably good shows, but I hyperfixate on it. I pushed myself for 1 or 2 more episodes after the first one of Another Life, and I shouldn't have. It was terrible. Star vs. the Forces of Evil. With how hated the ending is, I decided it's better not to get all the way through just to be disappointed, if that makes sense. West Wing. I get the appeal of it and understand why it was a pretty successful show for its time, but it T for me. The Omen? I can't really remember if that's what it was called, but it had a blonde white suit guy and a black suit redhead guy. I did hear it was really good, but I'd kid if it was for me. I didn't feel the urge to rush to the next TP. Oshinoko. Too many inconsistencies. I had to read the manga after 1 episode, and the manga addresses most but not all inconsistencies from the anime. I've tried watching Game of Thrones a few different times, and I can never get past the first episode. I don't know why, but something about it. Ginny Georgia when the mom shoots the rabbit. Yeah, I know the rabbit didn't actually get shot, at least I hope not, but there was really no need to have that scene. Turned me off and I didn't continue the series. Better Call Saul. It's probably a really good show, but when I watched Breaking Bad I was really depressed, and a few months ago when I tried to watch Better Call Saul it got me down, and I don't want to feel that way again. The show and the dark themes are just a bit too emotional draining for me. The anime Goblin Slayer. In fact, I didn't even get through the first 10 minutes. I think. It was horrific. Watched Pride of the X-Men once, spent the next decade running to the TV on Saturday mornings trying to see a second episode. The Office, and Rick and Morty. I barely made it through either series' first episode and can't for the life of me understand why those two got so popular. VF says I should try them stoned. I don't think there's enough marijuana on this planet to make The Office enjoyable. Small hope for RM.